It's good, y'all. Welcome back to Niner Wire. I'm your host, Sam, and today we're going to be talking about that awful game that happened. I'm just pretty straightforward. We're going to be talking about the awful game that happened against the Eagles. We got Rohith back for this. Man, I don't even know what to say about this game, Rohith.
I mean, where do we start? 3 turnovers committed. We let the Eagles convert twice on 4th down. We couldn't stop Carson Wentz from running the ball on the ground. 59 total plays run on offense by Philadelphia. 6 for 42 in penalties. Sacked 5 times. 3 turnovers. I mean, where do we start?
I mean, it's ridiculous how bad this game was. I mean, we were just coming off 2 dominant performances. I don't care that they're the Jets and the Giants. Blowing out a team like that is hard to do. And then you just absolutely shit the bed to an Eagles team that hasn't won a game yet. And I mean, that was one of the worst, some of the worst games I've seen the Niners play in the past 3 years. This game, the Atlanta game, in
my opinion, at least we had an excuse for the Atlanta game. We came off one of the greatest games we've ever played. We basically lost our entire team. It made sense how we came out flat. There's no reason why we should have came out flat in this game.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been just dominating. I feel like this team is kind of starting to remind me of that Eagles team that won the championship. Like, we come into every game bit overconfident, and then we just don't do well. I mean, yes, we're injured to hell. Yes, I mean, yeah, it's just like I felt like we were overconfident today. And
I mean, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Coming into this game, we haven't been punched in the mouth this season. And here's the thing. We got punched in the fucking mouth. And honestly, this team needed that because what the fuck? I mean, here's the thing. We can write off week 1 because week 1, everybody still has like the jitters. Everybody's still nervous. Nobody's really gelled together yet. It makes sense.
And I think week 1 was mainly on Garoppolo, not anyone else. This was an entire team effort to lose. Besides George Kittle. George Kittle's the only highlight of today.
15 receptions, 183 yards, and a touchdown. And Brendan Ayuk as well. He did his job.
That too. That hurdled. Yeah, that was ridiculous. But everyone
and Brendan Ayuk is a grown-ass man. Can we just talk about that real quick?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was – I tweeted this out. That could be the greatest hurdle in NFL history, if I'm being completely honest. I have never seen a guy get that much air over some guy and get into the end zone. And the landing on that too, man. Like, most people just hurl over the guy and then maybe just he stuck the landing perfectly. So,
can someone in the chat confirm for us if Ayuk ever ran track or did hurdles in high school or college? Because where did that come from?
Well, he was going into the combine, he had a calf injury and he ran a 4.5, which is pretty damn good. But we knew he was fast. Also, while we're at it, I just want to share the news. So there's injuries reports coming in. We should just talk about it.
More of those.
So injury reports. So Ziggy Ansah, it's apparently going to be a torn bicep. He could be on IR. They're going to get an MRI tomorrow. And K'Wan Williams, knee, they'll know more about it tomorrow. Let's just get that out of the way right now. The injuries. I know we're going back and forth with everything, but I think the injuries we got to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Personally,
that's basically coming hot off the presses.
Yeah, I mean, Ansah, that kind of sucks because we just signed him hoping to fill Nick Bosa's spot, and it's not working out. So, I mean,
at this point, do you say fuck it and give Clay Matthews a shot?
I think you want an edge rusher, like someone that can fill Nick Bosa's spot. I don't think you're necessarily looking for that linebacker because if you want that linebacker, I think you can just call up Joe Walker. I really liked him. From what I've seen of him and how he fits this team. So I feel like you're looking at an edge rusher, or you're gonna give more of a role to Deion Jordan, who is somebody that I thought I've heard terrible things about in camp, but he's looked pretty good so far throughout this season.
Yeah.
So I think, the Ansah loss is definitely gonna hurt us. K1's loss, I feel like, they're gonna know more about it tomorrow, but it doesn't seem serious. He went back in and then back out and then retweaked the same injury. Doesn't seem too serious, so I'm not too concerned about that. But Ziggy Ansah could be out for the year with that bicep injury. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Okay, yeah, that's basically all that's reported. And then the first question, apparently, you know what? Let's just get right into it. The comment section is going off about how bad this offensive line was, and
as
this
they
was
should.
Exactly. This is one of the worst offensive line performances I've seen from this team. That could be one of Trent Williams' worst offensive line games, or just one of his worst games of all time, if I'm being completely honest. McGlinchey, I got to be frankly honest. I don't see what the Niners see in McGlinchey. I don't think he's – I'm not saying I don't think he's the guy, but the Niners are praising him like the next best right tackle, and I don't see that at all. I see this guy as like a mediocre guy.
He was solid his rookie year. He improved a lot in last year, and then all of a sudden he's regressed so much. What happened?
I mean, I think it's just the COVID, but there's no excuse for that. Like, everyone's battling this COVID thing, and yeah, I mean, you have to step your game up against these teams because they're going to have weaknesses all across the board, man. And I mean, I don't really know what to say about this. I don't know who was the those two plays in like the third quarter where I think both of the Eagles' defensive tackles just got right through the interior line. I didn't see who they were going up against, but
it was on the inside.
It was on the inside. Did you see who it was that they were going up against? Or
if I had to take a guess, it was probably Garland. Garland and who was our right guard this game?
Brunskill.
Because Laken Tomlinson himself was actually not that bad.
Yeah, Laken Tomlinson definitely had our best performance on the offensive line. I mean, I think he was going up against Fletcher Cox. Yes, he got hurt, but when he was healthy, he wasn't doing much. It was Brandon Graham dominating Mike McGlinchey. Trent Williams dominated by Josh Sweat. And this is, I don't know if you were in the chat at the time, but we were all so excited, hoping Josh Sweat could be a Niner. This is the game why we thought Josh Sweat, like why we wanted Josh Sweat on that team. But just the offensive line, I don't want to say they cost us the game because really there were so many other factors that cost us the game. But if you had to pick one thing that cost us the game, it was this offensive line.
I mean, if you had to pinpoint one. And I want to point out one specific statistic on one specific player that kind of shows why that this statistic is where it is. Jerick McKinnon, 3.9 yards per carry. And 15 of those 54 came on one rush.
Yeah.
In other words, 13 rushes for, 39 yards. 3 yards a carry. And that is our top back.
I mean, I got to say, man, and people are going to say, like, oh, McKinnon didn't do well. The offensive line didn't give him a chance to do well. That's the thing. And because I felt like when McKinnon had the ball, for what he was getting, it was decent. But this offensive line, first of all, could not protect Nick Mullins, could not protect any of the running backs. They couldn't do a thing tonight. And I think if this offensive line stepped up, I think Nick Mullins would still be in this game. And if I'm being frankly honest, I mean, Nick Mullins, I think it was worth it to pull him, just give Beathard a chance, see what he can do. By the way, Beathard did phenomenal, and I think it's going to be
what Beathard did was insane. I'm not even going to lie.
Dude, I honestly thought we could win that game, which was ridiculous. But
I mean, when the Hail Mary was in, I'm like, no way.
Yeah, the Hail Mary, I mean, that was close if I'm being honest, but
okay,
yeah,
but my problem was with that entire sequence right there was we did not have to go for the deep shots every single play. I mean, what was it? We had like 30 seconds left when we got to that first down, and where were we? We were like 35 yards out?
Yeah, I think we were like
okay, hang on. I'm sorry to stop.
We were at the 45 of Philadelphia on that first down.
Okay. But we got the first down. We got to like what? I want to say around the 32, 33?
Yeah, something around there. But
okay, and we had what, 20 seconds left?
Yeah, something around there.
Okay. So I just want to, I'm sorry I keep interrupting, but I just want to get something straight.
No, go ahead. I mean, this is post-game. We're just ranting about everything.
So there's 20 seconds left, and first, second, and third downs, you keep going, try to take deep shots down the field for no reason. There is no reason to go down the field. You could have taken it up. You could take it up at a few extra yards. We did not use the sidelines the entire time. We did not test the outer boundaries.
And that was not only was that during that like sequence, but that was the entire drive. We were just throwing to guys over the middle. And I mean, it worked.
I mean, yes, it worked, but did it help us win? No.
Exactly. No. So I mean, clock management, I got to say, that has been Kyle Shanahan's downfall. That has been his kryptonite. And today, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it showed it, but if we took those a few snaps out of bounds, that would have helped a lot. And let's be real, we should not have got that. That ref falling down helped us so much. Like,
yeah, that was like the one lucky break from officiating we got all day.
Exactly. And I mean, to be
actually,
fair,
I want to talk about this real quick. There were like 3 plays that I can remember where the Philadelphia got bailed out, and I'm like, how is that a flag?
You know, I actually got.
I don't want to make the bad finish. I just want to say, like, I saw that. I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
I actually kind of want to disagree with you here, and I felt like the officiating was actually pretty decent tonight. I feel like the penalties, though, that was bad. The one guy in particular I want to highlight with penalties and just an overall terrible game that I had as one of my key players is Dante Johnson.
Oh my goodness.
Dante Johnson and Jimmy Ward, by the way. Jimmy Ward was terrible. That looked like the Jimmy Ward of like the trash Jimmy Ward that we saw before 2019. Dante Johnson, first of all, how on earth is this man employed? Like, I've been saying this for 4 years. This dude needs to be cut, yet we keep bringing him back. It's like veteran presence. Shut the fuck up. Veteran presence.
Sam, I need to interrupt you again because we just got a tweet from Cam Inman saying Shanahan on Garoppolo for Week 5 versus the Dolphins. Not sure totally. Didn't talk to him today. Hopefully he'll be good Hopefully he'll be good to go for Wednesday, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay, that's a good sign. Yeah, that's definitely a good sign.
I don't know if that's a good sign or not, because seriously, if he's unsure, that's we have to see another week of this.
I gotta say, man, like, we're playing Miami. Miami is, yes, they're a decent team, but the Eagles, let's be real, even though the Eagles are...
This is the same shit we said about the Eagles literally in the pregame. And we got our asses handed to us.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm trying to say is, like, we played the Jets and the Giants, and then we said that the Eagles were better than the Jets and the Giants. Miami's probably, like, around that area. And I think this offensive line, I think this offensive line can bounce back because we know that this offensive line is legit. Tonight was just a complete off night. Not to mention, Miami's pass rush is nowhere near compared to the Eagles.
Though I want to say, like, Jimmy Garoppolo does a good job masking this offensive line's deficiencies at times because he gets the ball out quick. I just want to say that about Jimmy. I think that's one thing of a Jimmy Garoppolo's game that people don't really understand is that Garoppolo gets the ball out of his hands very quickly and doesn't give defensive linemen a chance to really get at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and so not really having to hold your blocks bodes well.
Yeah,
Mullins and Beathard do not have that same type of quick release. They don't have that same type of like, okay, I see someone quickly and then just get it out of it. They kind of take a bit of a while. They're basically the anti-Jimmy G's.
Exactly, and. I mean, all the Jimmy haters tonight have gone dead silent. Like, people are saying, oh, there's a quarterback controversy in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, for the backup spot.
For the backup spot, yeah. And while you're on that, I was actually about to say, it's going to be, if Jimmy Garoppolo's out, it will be very interesting to see who starts Week 5. Because I got to say, man, I think Mullins has a chance to start again. And so does Beathard. After the way he played tonight, he has a chance for sure.
I mean, okay, here's what I want to say about that, though. This entire situation reminds me too much of what happened in 2017 when we benched Brian Hoyer midway through the game, Week 6 against Washington. We were down, 17-3 at the time. Mm-hmm. We bench Hoyer. We bring in C.J. Beathard. Beathard goes on a tear for the rest of the game. We still end up losing 26-24. We start Beathard the next week. 40-10 loss to the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. The week after, we lost 30-10 to these same Eagles. And this is the year the Eagles went on and win the Super Bowl. This was that Philadelphia God Squad Eagles.
And that loss felt so much worse than the Cowboys loss, to be completely real. Nobody, I mean, to be fair, that game, the offensive line was also terrible. But
our entire offense was terrible that entire year.
That entire year, our offense was terrible. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But what I'm trying to say is that I've seen this before from Beathard, where it's like he looks good right now, but if you ask him to do that for an entire game, I don't think he can. Yeah,
I'm with you on that, and I think
as a career starter, how many? He only has. Okay, so he started
He has
how many
one
games?
career win. He has one career win, and that was against the Giants week 10.
Giants in week 10.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's it. Because in 2018, he went 0 and what? He went because he played from
So he lost to the Chargers. He lost to the Chargers, lost to the Cardinals. So that was week 4. Cardinals week 5. Packers week 6.
Let's be real. He could have won the Packers game.
He could have won the Packers game. He could have won the Chargers game.
Yeah, for sure.
And then who did we play week 7 that year?
I think was it
Rams. We got our ass handed to us by the Rams.
We got our asses kicked. Yeah, I was at that game. That was not fun.
And then week 8 we played the Cowboys. Wait, no. Week 8 we played the Cardinals.
Again.
That was a game that was also winnable.
Absolutely.
And we fucked up.
Yeah, I mean,
week 9 comes in, we're 1-7, make the switch to Mullins, and then that's when Mullins Mania started. Absolutely. If we can even call it Mullins Mania.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean,
if you need CJ Beathard to be a consistent starter for a long time, that is not going to happen. Mm-hmm. For a game, maybe. But even then, that's a maybe. He's 1-9 as a career starter.
Exactly. And I mean, I mean, the one thing that surprised me is just how poorly Mullins did. Because Mullins, I mean,
his pocket presence.
His pocket presence was terrible. I mean, let's just the one play that sums up the game tonight is that pick 6. I don't know how you didn't see that guy. Like when I was watching it on TV, he just throws the ball right to him. It was like that. Like did he think that was Brandon Ayuk or something? Whoever the hell he was throwing it to, it was ridiculous, man.
What was that?
Right to him. I mean. That could be one of the worst picks I've seen in a while.
Like, I mean, once that pick 6 was thrown, my roommate, he's a Saints fan. He literally walked out of his room and is like, "How are you more pissed than I was last week when we lost to the Packers?" And I'm like, "At least you guys lost to a decent team. We lost to the fucking Eagles."
Exactly.
An Eagles team that tied to Cincinnati. They got their asses handed to them by the Rams. Who lost to them? And who also got their asses handed to them by the fucking football team.
I know. It's ridiculous, man. Hey, but if you want to say something to the roommate, just tell him we're both 2-2. I mean,
he pointed that out before I did.
Oh, all right, perfect. But yeah, I mean, just like I don't know. I feel we're talking a lot about other things. It's just like there's so much negativity to talk about. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball for a little bit because that's something we haven't talked about at all. And
a breath of fresh air, let's call it.
A breath of fresh air, I guess. I think the one highlight, I gotta say the front 7. The one thing I gotta say about the front 7 is it's making an impact, not noticeable at all though. And we need that impact to be a bit more.
Speaking of that, I feel like one problem we're doing is that I feel like we actually need to commit to either Ken Givens or Deion Jordan on the opposite side of Kerry Hyder, so we can slide Eric Armstead inside.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Because whenever we line up Armstead on the edge, yeah, he's doing well, but when we put him inside, he's so much better. He's so much more disruptive. And I don't understand what Robert Saleh and what Chris Kosirik are not seeing, where they keep having Eric Armstead line up on the edge opposite of Kerry Hyder.
I know. I feel like there was that one play where it was Fred Warner got the quarterback hit on Wentz, but Armstead was right up in his face, just waving his arms like Wentz could not see a thing. I know. I gotta say, the play calling has been very confusing to me this year on both sides of the ball. I mean, on offense, I tweeted this out earlier too. Why are we running the ball on 3rd and long? Like, what? That doesn't make sense at all. Like, it's like you're trying to lose the game, or you're in garbage time. But you're doing it in the second quarter in an 8-7 ball game. Like that you don't do that. That just confuses the hell out of me. I don't get what you see in that. And on the defensive side of the ball, I just feel like the defensive line is just not being used the right way. And the fact that are we getting the quarterback? Sort of. We're not even close to getting that to the quarterback as well as we did last year. And
there's no way. I mean, obviously, no Bosa, but at the same time, are we really that dependent on one player?
Yeah, I mean, you can't be. The defensive line last year was built on just a collective group of guys just absolutely dominating.
Yeah,
And
Armstead had 10 sacks, Bosa had 9, Ford had 6.5, Buckner had 6, and then we had a couple of guys with like 3, 2.
and three, let's also just point out that 3 of the 4 guys that started last year are gone. Nick Bosa, IR, ACL. DeForest Buckner, traded him. D Ford, IR, and I have no clue when he's returning.
If he'll return.
If he'll return. He'll probably return, but they're gonna give it a while because it seems like it's getting worse. So now you just have Eric Armstead, who, let's be real, he was not good until you brought those 3 guys together. And
he was solid. He showed flashes, but he never really put everything together like he did last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I gotta say this, he has not looked as good as he did last year. Yes, he has 1 sack, and it's really concerning me. I'm starting to think that, and this could be a bit early to say this, but maybe teams have figured out the 49ers. And it's a very scary thing to say. But the fact that the play calling has been significantly worse this year, and just like a snap of a finger, there were no preseason, no training camp. Well, yes, training camp, but you can't film during training camp. No OTAs. The only thing that's getting your teams to know your name is or to know your scheme is previous film and guys that have left. And let's be real, we only lost 3 starters last year. So
the 2 retirement man, sent to the Saints, DeForest Buckner, and trade to the Colts.
Yeah, and 2 of those guys are 2 of those guys are still in the league. So I don't think it's that. So some teams are starting to see something on film that's figuring out the Niners. They're using that film really well, and it's starting to concern me. Now,
I think what it really is that Robert Saleh has a tendency to not blitz much. I think last year he had one of if not the lowest blitz percentage in the NFL. This year he's still not blitzing as much. Here's the thing: we could get away with that because our 4-man rush was that amazing. Exactly. We don't have that 4-man rush. Robert Saleh has to incorporate blitzes. Exactly. In one way or another. I don't care if it's a corner blitz. I don't care if it's a linebacker blitz. I don't care if putting 5 defensive linemen on the line and having them all get to the quarterback. I don't care. Have a way to get more than 4 pass rushers, quarterback, in multiple variations.
Exactly. And I mean, I gotta say right now, I don't play football. I've never played football. I have no experience on the field in football. The only experience with football I have is watching the game. And I mean, even I know that adjustments need to be made to this play calling. I feel like right now we're acting like everyone's healthy. We're trying to run plays with Nick Mullins that he can't do. And that's what got him out of the game. We're using our guys we're overusing their abilities. That's the thing. We're not blitzing. We didn't have to blitz before because we had that amazing pass rush, but now 3 of those 4 guys are gone. I mean, I don't know what to say to this. I feel like the play calling needs to just get better in the future. And guys, the schedule does not get any easier from here. We got Miami, who, yes, they're 1-3, but they're a good 1-3 team. They kept it close with a lot of teams. Then you got the Rams,
the 3-1 Rams,
the 2-1 Patriots, the 4-0
Seahawks in Seattle.
Must-win game. The 3-0 Packers. The 2-2 Saints. Let's not underestimate the Saints.
Bye week.
We're still the New Orleans Saints. After the bye, you got to play the Rams
go to LA to play the Rams.
And then you got to play the Bills. The Bills are on a tear right now. The Bills could have Josh Allen, who could be the MVP. And let's not mention Russell Wilson. That's the other guy who could be the MVP candidate this year. You're playing him week 8. And then
then week 14, hang on.
Week 14 is Washington. That should be.
Then we play the football team.
So let's.
Then we play the Cowboys in Dallas. Then we go to Arizona, and then we finish off against Seattle.
And I mean, yeah, the schedule is. You just had the 3 easiest games of the year right there, and you went 2-1. Not to mention you lost your first game. Now you're 2-2, going into the tough part of your schedule. This is not looking good. And I mean, last year, yes, we were 10 and something I don't know what our record was, but going into week 10 or week 12. Like that's when our schedule kind of got really hard.
Okay, so we were 8-0 coming into week 10. We lost to Seattle. We bounced back against Arizona, beat the shit out of Green Bay, dropped a game to Baltimore, beat New Orleans, dropped a game to Atlanta, beat to Philadelphia, beat Seattle. So we went 5-3 at the end.
We went 5-3. That 8-0 start was crucial in us getting that 1 seed last year. And now you're 2-2.
Not only were we 13-3, but we needed that 13-3 because the New Orleans and Green Bay were both 13-3.
Yeah, and now you go into the tough part of your schedule. I wouldn't call Miami part of the tough part yet, but you could be going into the tough part of your schedule 2-3. Just think about that. You're going to have a losing record going into the hardest part of your schedule. That is the recipe for disaster. That is what leads to a season where you're going to go like 10-6, 9-7, miss the playoffs. You're a fluke team, and people are just going to start counting you out. And I mean, I don't care that Nick Bosa's hurt. I don't care that Jimmy Garoppolo's hurt. This should be a championship caliber team without those guys. It's that simple.
The thing is, I still think we are a championship caliber team. The problem is we're not playing like it.
Exactly. That's the thing.
We're playing like the same sack of shit team in 2018 that like basically folded after we lost our quarterback.
I know, man. It's ridiculous. And I mean, yeah, I tweeted out earlier, this is the 2016 defense or is this the 2020 defense? The defense, let's be real, they were okay. That might have been a bit of a reach. I mean, yes, they got a pick, but yeah, I mean,
3 sacks.
3 sacks, which was tonight. 3 sacks.
3 sacks tonight. We had 1 from Jamar Taylor, Eric Armstead and Kerry Hyder split a sack, and then DJ Jones.
DJ Jones got the sack. So, yeah, the D-line, it's still doing well, but this D-line can definitely be better. And I think that goes on Robert Kelley.
We're getting pressures, but I want to see more of those pressures get converted to sacks.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, Robert Saleh, Chris Kucerik, gotta just incorporate what you have. Work with what you have. You're not the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, that's kind of a bit of reach. But let's say you're Kyle Shanahan and you're trying to run like verticals because you think you're the Kansas City Chiefs. You don't do that. You run what's right for your team, and the Niners are not doing that. The Niners D is completely different without Buckner, Bosa, and D Ford. And this team is not realizing it at all. So, I mean, yes, the defensive line's been good with what they've had to work with and what they've been like working for, I guess you can say. But it's the coaching's got to step it up. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to say about the coaching.
Like I said in pregame, the most dangerous thing is someone who has nothing left to lose. Philadelphia had nothing left to lose, and they played like it.
Exactly. And I mean, yeah, man, they're the 1 seed in the East for a reason now. Like, they didn't have anything to lose. They got, I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to say. I keep getting like really speechless of everything because I don't know what to say about like how to explain this team the way we've already explained it tonight. Like, this team has to step it up, and I call it panic mode, not necessarily, but you're on thin ice right now to call on this
real thin ice.
Thin ice. Like this, I mean, and I keep saying like this is like the Eagles team that won the championship a few years ago. This team was on thin ice throughout the year. And then the reason they made the playoffs is because Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick. It's that simple. He comes in. We have Little Dick Nick. It's just like that. Like, he's not doing tonight. He did not step it up. And God, man, I just hope Jimmy Garoppolo.
I mean, if we want to go with history and talking about getting punched in the mouth, let's hope that this game was that message that the team needed, like the team got in 1994 when they got fucking blasted by the same Philadelphia Eagles team at home, 40-8.
I know, it's ridiculous.
That led to Steve Young getting benched. I mean, here's the thing. This has to be that wake-up call saying, get your fucking shit together. This doesn't fly anymore.
I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying like, by the way, guys, I'm not saying that this team needs to panic just yet. I mean, you've seen teams that have started 2-2 and then win the championship. The reason I'm concerned is the hard part of our schedule just coming up. And we've talked about that all enough tonight.
But a lot of times, like, a lot of those teams always have, like, that one, what the fuck was that game? In my opinion, this was our what the fuck was that game.
This has to be it. because you can't have any more of this if you want to win the championship.
Get this, what the fuck was that game out of your system and just go hard at everything.
And that's what they did last year with the Atlanta game. I mean, you beat the Rams, you beat Seattle in Seattle to win the division, then you crush Minnesota and Green Bay before you play a Chiefs team that probably was better than you, and you lose. So, to be fair, like, the Atlanta game was the wake-up call. This game better be the same thing.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the stat sheet for this game, we had more first downs than the Philadelphia Eagles. We won the first down game, 25-18. We were more efficient on third down, 5 from 11 versus 4 from 13. We outgained them 418-267. We outrushed them 116-93. We ran 11 more plays. But here's where things go to shit. We turned the ball over 3 times. We got sacked 5 times. We committed 6 penalties to their 3.
Mm-hmm.
Turnovers, sacks, and penalties. And what did I say in the pregame? Do not turn the ball over. And what do? We turn it over 3 times.
Turn the ball over. And I mean, this is also with my thing for my Eagles' keys to the game. Passing efficiency, did that perfectly. Carson Wentz bounced back tonight. I said they needed him to bounce back. They did.
And he did.
That.
2 combined touchdowns, 8 for 28 passing, and a combined 230 yards of offense.
And I mean, let's be real. That's not a lot. Like, compared to other teams, that's not a lot. That usually does not win you a game. The fact that won us a game is a bit concerning from the offensive standpoint. I gotta say, from our offense, that's a bit concerning.
Offensively speaking, here's the thing: a pick 6, another interception, a fumble, multiple 3 and outs, unimaginative play calling, and just taking sacks.
Mm-hmm. It's. I mean, tonight was just a terrible showing all around. I'm not the one, like we said, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. Those are the only 2 guys that did well in offense. Everyone else, shame on you. I mean,
Debo was solid. Debo was solid.
Yeah.
He had 3 targets, and he caught all 3 targets for 35 yards. He had 1 rush for 10 yards. I feel like since it was first game back from injury, I feel like he was eased back in.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wish we could have used him more. I think that could have made a difference. I wish we could have used Ayuk more in different ways. I mean, we targeted Ayuk 5 times for 8, and he got 2 of those for 18 yards. 14 of those came on 1 play. He had the big 38-yard run. Kittle, Ayuk, Debo. This is not on you. Everybody else, what the fuck were you doing?
Exactly. And McKinnon, maybe you can count out, but I mean, you said it before. You said it in pregame. You mentioned the trenches all the time. The Niners did not do anything in the trenches tonight.
We got fucking destroyed in the trenches. That is enough said.
I know it's as simple as that. We got destroyed in the trenches, and yeah, I said if you want to pinpoint one thing, there you go. That's it. And I mean, look at my Niners' keys to the offense: execution in the red zone and stopping the run. We had a turnover in the red zone. We did not stop the run. Oh, we kind of did stop the run, yes, on defense, but it was the passing game. The Eagles' passing efficiency is what won them this game and beat our defense and the pressure too. But on offense, the passing game efficiency, I said they needed to do that. They did that perfectly. And the Niners on offense did not execute in the red zone, nor did they even make the red zone that often. I mean, last week we had 1 punt. Oh, sorry, 0 punts.
No, we had 0.
Yeah, 0 punts. And this week,
Wisniewski punted 4 times.
Exactly.
Today.
4 times, 3 turnovers, no field. No, we did not make a field goal because we went for 2. Because Kittle got that touchdown, Ayuk got that touchdown, McKinnon got that touchdown. We went for 2, Kittle dropped the ball. That's what happened.
Honestly, if Kittle actually caught that, I think we might have could have taken the game to overtime.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because we could have kicked a field goal right there. On the last play of the game, we could have kicked a field goal.
I saw that, I'm like, how did Kittle drop that? My heart sank.
I know. Kittle. I'm surprised he dropped that too, man.
And then the onside kick attempt. Can we talk about that? What was that?
What on earth was that? Like,
I think you saw my tweet. I was like, this is not Atlanta. This is a competent coaching staff in Philadelphia. What are you doing?
And why don't you just kick it short? Like, have a chance to recover it, and at the same time, you burn that second as well. You burn 1 second with that kick. You can burn 1 second with the other kick. It's not a gift. Like, here you go. Here's the ball. Better yet, why not just kick it in the back of the end zone? Robbie Gould.
I want to go back to that because think about this. We had 100 seconds to drive 94 yards because false start.
Exactly.
And that was because of the messed up onside kick. Let's say we kicked it out of bounds. Philadelphia starts at their own 25. Let's say we still make them go 3 and out. We still have the 2-minute warning, the 2 timeouts. We still make them go 3 and out.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at a minute 40, we're probably looking at a minute 50. We're probably looking at a minute 50 and we still have and we, instead of driving 80, 85, 90 yards, we're looking at probably driving 50 to 60.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean the onside kick, like it goes back to the coaching. Like, I don't
It's
understand.
symptomatic of how this team played.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I keep saying it, like we're like teams are figuring this out and like we need to get used to like who we have on this team. But the onside kick, I don't understand what that was for. Like that made no sense. That defied all logic. Like why you just kicked it right to the guy? Did you expect to like kick it up, hope he dropped it, and then get farther yards? Like that's like a 1% chance of happening. Like if you want the best shot to get the ball in your territory, in your opponent's territory with a lot of time yet, you kick it in the back of the end zone. Or if you want to be a go-getter and get the ball immediately, you do an onside kick right to the 10-yard line like the Cowboys did like 2 weeks ago. That's how you do it. Not kick the ball 20 yards.
Now Atlanta was just sitting there looking at the ball.
Yeah,
not knowing they could have gone to recover. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean let's be fair with that. But still, like we had that onside kick against the Rams 3 years ago in that Thursday night game that worked perfectly. And
that was a scare.
Yeah, I mean that we could have done that. I don't understand why. Like that definitely could have changed the game right there. So yeah, for sure. You got anything else you just want to bring up really quickly? There's a lot to bring up. Let's just digest for a little bit.
Okay, I mean, honestly, where did I? I'm trying to think about where I should even start because oh my goodness, this was bad.
Yeah,
awful.
Exactly.
And I mean, I want to point fingers at one thing about Kyle Shanahan's coaching today was why was he so adamant on giving every carry to McKinnon? We saw no JaMychal Hasty, and Jeff Wilson only got 3 carries.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit interesting. That's definitely interesting, and I think that could be just working with what you have. I don't think they trust Jeff Wilson or JaMychal Hasty personally because I feel like.
While I understand that, at the same time, it's like, this one guy isn't really getting anywhere. Why not try something else?
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, I think you can definitely. I mean, McKinnon. I think they might have seen something in the O-line that has to be the reason why they weren't using the committee tonight. Usually they always use the committee. So that's definitely a bit interesting. I wonder if he got asked about that in the press conference. I didn't see much from his press conference other than the injury news. That's all I really saw in that press conference. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't see any of the press one. I just came here to get ready for the stream.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to see if there's any more. The only notifications that I've seen are the other thing Trent Williams just said, he just said that Trent Williams just had a terrible game. He's not hurt at all. What else? I'm just trying to read. So if the bicep is concerned, it's going to require season-ending surgery for Ziggy Ansah. Nick Mullins had a press conference. He has no clue what happened tonight. He's kind of confused by his own performance. So yeah, I mean that's really all. Not much to talk about. I mean, it was just an awful game. I mean,
to think that if we cleaned up our execution, we honestly could be 4-0 right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean,
if we cleaned up how many mistakes we made in week 1, it was just horrible execution on offense, horrible execution in the red zone, untimely penalties, letting one guy beat your entire defense. Today, it was literally just not getting to the quarterback, not putting him into the ground. Our quarterback couldn't throw past 20 yards without actually hesitating.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like as I said, executing the red zone, that's definitely, I mean, yeah, executing the red zone is definitely got to be one of the offensive keys of the game. We failed at that. So, yeah, man, it just did not look
This
good.
is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm just trying to find one quick thing really quickly. Give me 1 sec, because I'm about to go into fantasy, the fantasy for this week. I like to do that a little bit, so
I
just like to break down.
Actually, the Kendrick Bourne touchdown being called short actually helped me in fantasy because McKinnon ended up getting that extra touchdown. So now,
yeah, exactly.
So here's the thing. So now I'm up 141 to 89. My opponent has Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, and Hayden Hurst. I have Rex Burkhead. I could actually win.
You definitely could win. So. Yeah, for sure.
And this is a fantasy game matchup I have no business winning. And if I win, I'm taking that win and running. In this league, I'm 2-1.
2-1. All right. So
in this league, I'm 2-1. 3-1. In the league I'm in with you, I'm 0-3, but I'm projected to win.
I haven't paid attention to that league that much, if I'm being completely honest, because I have the one league that I do pay attention to. I have I put $50 in for that, so. That one I kind of have to pay attention. There's a $500 pool for that, so I want that money. But I'm going to be in second place, which is fine so far. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you're 2-1 in the league you're in with me. You kind of didn't pay attention at all because your quarterback is Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger. I don't really. Yeah, that's why I usually don't pay. The Twitter leagues I like to draft, and I just kind of fall off about them. But yeah, it is what it is. So all right, let's get into some fantasy now. I don't have everyone on this team that I want, but so we'll just start off. I don't even have Nick Mullins on this team. That's how long ago I drafted this. So if I just go
in this league, I have Jerick McKinnon. In terms of 49ers, I have Jerick McKinnon, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and then Jimmy Garoppolo on the bench.
Oh, all right. So let me just pull up. Here are the points for this week. So Nick Mullins. Oh wait, hold up. Okay, so George Kittle with 40.1 points, according to sportingnews.com. That is the second most all time. According to sportingnews.com, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but that is according to this, that is the second most all time. This was made a week ago. So that could very much be I don't know what the scoring is. Oh, you know why? It's 4-point passing touchdown. So it's definitely a bit it's a bit different. So than PPR, like standard PPR and ESPN, but yeah, for sure. McKinnon 22.7 points. Brandon Ayuk 13.6 points. Debo 7.5. Niners D with 7 points. Kendrick Bourne 6.3 points. Nick Mullins 6 points. CJ Beathard 5.52 points. 6 points for your starting quarterback. Let's just talk about that real quick. That just tells you.
Niners QBs usually aren't great fantasy QBs, but dear God, that's still awful.
Yeah, for sure. It's not looking good for that. Beathard had more points in just like that, like one tiny drive, which is kind of ridiculous. Or the same amount of points, basically. Half a point less. So it's ridiculous. Wilson 2.9, Juszczyk 2.3. Juszczyk, by the way, Mullins missing Juszczyk in the first quarter just killed me.
That was a horrible throw.
Yeah, I mean, he just completely overthrew that. And yeah, man, Juszczyk could have been gone if he caught that. If that was an accurate pass, Juszczyk could have been gone, and we would have won this game. That could have been another X factor in this game. Another execution thing that we just did not execute when we needed to, and that's what cost us the game. That's exactly what cost us the game. That's what cost us the Arizona game as well. That's what cost us the Atlanta game last year. That's what cost us. I won't say it cost us the Ravens and Seahawks game, but those two things are why we didn't do it. So, yeah. Actually, no, Seahawks game I would say because the receivers were terrible for that game. But anyways, back to fantasy. Robbie Gold with 2 points. Oh, go ahead.
In this one league I'm in, my entire bench is either injured or hasn't played, and I am down 121 to 48.
That's tough, man. Wait, so are you starting so all your bench hasn't played?
Oh no, okay, so basically my bench is Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Ryan, Christian McCaffrey, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, Kenny Galladay, and N'Keal Harry.
Oh, and you benched Galladay though.
Yeah.
That's tough.
No, that's not everyone pay attention to this league.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. So, yeah. All right. So that's all the fantasy points that were scored today for the 49ers. Before we go, Don wants us to talk about Kinlaw. I got to say, man, Kinlaw looked pretty good
Kinlaw's great.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about that. We kind of talked about the D-line earlier, how everyone's looked pretty good on that today a little bit. But Kinlaw, I got to say, has been looking like the real deal. Is he the Forrest Buckner? Absolutely not. But I think you definitely have a lot of room to develop. When Bosa and Ford come back, man, that the D-line might be the same D-line we saw in 2020. So 2021 could be a big year for this defensive line. So, yeah, for sure. All right, before I end the stream, you have anything else to say? Any final words?
One. Pain.
There you go. That's the best way to end this. Just the tip of the cap to how poorly the Niners play, guys. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I didn't even plug our accounts. So guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter at NinerWireSam, at Instagram at NinerWire_YT. Roh's Twitter and Instagram at RohitKanan71. Make sure to also tune in to the Faithful Four podcast. Hoping for a new episode.
We'll be having a post-game episode actually come out in 2 days on Tuesday.
Sweet. That should be awesome to watch and listen to and everything. Also, guys, make sure to check out it should be painful. But anyways, guys, make sure to also check out the Brawl Network, all the Brawl Network accounts, all the podcasts on there. If you have questions, comments, make sure to tweet at us. Do comment on the channel. Do whatever you want. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for watching this painful stream, I should say. And I'll see you guys next time. Go Niners.
Go Niners.